up, guys? I haven't posted in a while, but here's a Suzuki TS185. I know you cannot tell. This will be our second restoration project. I first need to get this out of the snow, which may take some time, but the wait will be worth it. As you can tell, we are having to move a fair amount of snow, almost as tall as my trailer. I was originally planning on lowering the ramp for the trailer, but there's a fair amount of snow, so I think we are going to try to get it over the bars of that trailer, since it does have a pretty ragged skid plate, so nothing should be damaged. I did forget how heavy this pig was, but at least we did not lay it over and dent this beautiful tank. We are currently resting against that pipe, but let's get her down. Has been a while, but we're making progress. Never thought this day would come, but we finally got a spot in the garage for this thing. All right, for backstory on this thing, it did look like this when I bought it. I bought it for, I think, $300. It had a blown top end. Piston was completely shot. I don't have a picture of it. Completely took a chunk out of it. But me and my friend, we put a new top end on it, $50 little eBay top end, and it did run, but it had major electrical issues because my buddy, he did find it in like just a abandoned shop, and he got it for $30. Gave me a really good deal on it, but the electrical's completely shot. So I tried to clean it up, and it ended up losing spark. And I thought it was the wiring issue, but I ended up last summer tracing it back to the CDI. So I do have one of those. So I think for starters, we're gonna get that thrown on before we start making the cosmetics better, or appearance. I don't know how to use my words. I did not fully put this back together whenever I got done working on it, so let's slide this gas tank off and get that fuel line off, and then see where that CDI is. We did purchase the CDI for around $70 because they are kind of hard to come by, because this thing is a 1978 Suzuki TS185. Okay, we did get that old CDI out. We also did put a new ignition coil on, but I'm so lost with how this is. It is a complete disaster and a rat's nest. After realizing so that is gonna focus kind of. You see that blue wire that comes off the ignition coil? I originally thought there was no purpose because I wasn't paying attention, and I did not see it came off the ignition coil. So on this new ignition coil, there's an actual intact plug because it's not botched. There's nothing to hook it to. I mean, I have this, I think I need a ground. So we have a ground coming off there, but I guess I was getting some weak signal last time with that old CDI when I was using a multimeter, so maybe the new ignition coil or CDI will help. I did just come to the realization that this wire that I thought was a ground last year is black and white, and then you've got black and white. So the reason why this was a frayed wire is because it came disconnected from this black and white wire. So this doesn't sound right, but I guess white is gonna go to blue, or gray goes to white. Very confusing system, but that makes more sense. Okay, we did get these wires stripped from the CDI, which is something I do not want to do and something I don't like to do. I'd rather have the proprietary connectors, but we got to work with what we have because I'm not trying to go to the parts store right now. Okay, we did get those wires crimped on there pretty firmly for crimping. Now we are loosening that spark plug to see if we made any improvement on the voltage going through this whole system. Well, as expected, that obviously did not solve the issue. I'm not gonna give up, but that is pretty irritating. Next thing I'll be trying to see if maybe this black and yellow wire maybe goes well together with this part of the coil, or the ignition coil, my apologies. But also there's a black and yellow wire here, so I'm not really sure what all this is supposed to be for, because these two were tied into plugs, but this one was separate. It would not, I'm pretty sure this is your headlight right here, so that wouldn't make any sense. Or no, this is the key. So we need this one unhooked, obviously, so maybe if I swap these wires, something will work. Okay guys, I'm actually so happy because it took me a year to get this right, even though it was these 2 wires right here. Maybe not, I'm not fully sure, but it just had spark. Watch it not, I probably won't have spark this time. Oh my gosh, guys. This is a major relief because I wasn't gonna give up on this. I tried selling it multiple times just because of this issue, and I didn't give up, and we got spark. All right, it is the next day. I did try to make an attempt to start the bike today, but it did not start. Maybe it's because this carburetor is it's definitely needs good cleaning, and it doesn't have really any hoses on it except for that fuel line, and the fuel tank is right now off, and it is 10 degrees outside, so that might be a few factors on why it's not starting. I apologize for that heater sound, but I think for this finishing up this video, we're gonna get some of these wires all cleaned up. I haven't made much progress on organizing wire, well, sort of, not on like the middle part of the bike, but we did take all this wire mess. The table's a mess, I know. Took all this like wire mess out of the headlight housing, and we hooked up 2 wires into a battery, and this original light still does work. Let me see if I can try to get a video of it. Okay, so we did get this plug stripped off. It was connected to this jumbo of mess. This all goes to the hand control for turn signals, because this is supposed to be a street legal. It's a what's the word? Enduro. But this thing's never gonna see the road again. It's gonna see the trails though. But we're gonna harvest this plug and then tie these 2 wires to the black and the white so that it can receive power. I think this is just a spare wire that does go with the proprietary turn signal mess. And whoever worked on this bike before me and my buddy was not the brightest, because black and white, thank you. I'm actually colorblind, so yeah, what color is this? Is this blue and white? Oh, it's black and white. Thank you. Think it would have been more useful to tell me what this black and white wire goes to. All right, we did get these wires crimped, and then sort of the solder heat gun thing. It's pretty firm. I think it'll be good. It's not fully jank, kind of jank, exactly what I like. This will plug straight into that right there, and then we'll wire it down to that coil. So hopefully this light should just run off the coil, and that'll be good. Okay, we did get this light reseated in there. That ain't going nowhere. Got all this wire cleaned up for the most part. Definitely looks better than it used to. I do have these 2 wires coming out right here. We are gonna use these for the lights. I just tested again, and the lights do work even with these wires extended. I'm not fully sure, but I think a battery would go down here, but also there's a chain rubbing right there. I know this bike was supposed to have a battery at one point, but I'm not sure where this battery was supposed to be mounted. So we'll try to figure that out and get a light kit for this, or a toggle switch, so that we can use the light. Thank you guys for watching the first restoration video on this heavy project. I'm definitely looking forward to posting more videos on this. I think next video will be doing appearance, because this is not even the fender made for it, but we'll have to work with it, of course. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys joining me on the journey to figure out this wiring, because it took me a year to do this, and I'm glad I was able to record the moments of it happening. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.